princess girl. Who's a pretty girl? Who's a pretty girl? Who's spoiled? Who's spoiled? Can I not have my cheek back? Has it got to be stuck to yours like glue or something? Pretty girl. You're a spoiled pretty girl. Round around the garden like a teddy bear. Round around the garden like a teddy bear. One set, two set, tickly everywhere. Serious girl, aren't you? Are you serious? Dead one.
During this same month, the instability of Brockhill was on full display. She was obsessively jealous, and she would send message after message to Smith, accusing her of cheating on her with men. On the 29th of February 2020, she sent an unhinged message to one of Smith's sisters where she'd convinced herself of her partner's infidelity. It read, quote, "I'm broken. I'll stab someone tonight, I swear. I don't care about kids in the house. I will rage. Fuck it. They're going to need police in the house to take me away." She also posted this deranged video on Facebook.
Guys and girls need to remember the fact that Frankie is with me. She keeps getting a lot of message requests and friends requests. She's not going to accept, especially tramps like yous. And if you want to keep your kneecaps, I suggest you stop sending her them. She's with the #1 psycho.
Savannah Brockhill would also be Frankie Smith, and this was suspected to have occurred from early in the relationship, as she had bruises on her face, and this was confirmed when Yvonne, Smith's mother, saw Brockhill punch her daughter in the head when they went to a pub on the 14th of March 2020. The reason for this assault? Smith apparently had a fleeting conversation with a man at the bar. Brockhill then grabbed Smith's arm, called her a whore, and locked her in a bathroom cubicle. Eventually, she was let out, and the pair then got into Brockhill's car and drove away. The next day, Brockhill texted a friend of hers, saying that she considered killing both herself and Smith by driving off a cliff, but had instead decided to just give her a beating. She closed this message by saying, quote, "I'm out of control." Star was, at this point, safe and experiencing what would be the last few weeks of stability, protection, and love she would ever know. This was due to her being taken in by her maternal great-grandparents, David Fawcett and Anita Smith, in February 2020, after Smith had dumped her daughter with them and said she couldn't cope, as she and Savannah Brockhill had broken up, which was something that happened on a regular basis. When Star arrived at her great-grandparents, she had very bad nappy rash, but when this was treated, she thrived. She went from this to this. For 2 months, Star was happy, but this would all come to an end when on the 26th of April 2020, 5 months before the murder, Smith arrived unannounced and took Star back to live with her and Brockhill. They never saw her alive again. After this point, they were banned from seeing their great-granddaughter. This was apparently at the direction of Brockhill. On the 4th of May 2020, Anita apparently learned that Brockhill had destroyed Star's dummy in front of her, forced her to eat garlic, and slam-choked her, essentially grabbed her by the neck and banged her against a wall to, quote, "toughen her up." Anita immediately called Bradford Social Services. This was referral number 2. A few days later, the social worker, who was described as inexperienced in the subsequent review, went round and decided, after seeing Star and Brockhill for a short time, that the pair had a good relationship and there were no concerns. Apparently, from the reports I've read, Anita knew that Star had been choked because she'd seen a video of this, but it's not clear who took this. However, it's quite likely it was Smith and or Brockhill, as they would regularly film themselves tormenting Star. Police were able to recover multiple videos and pictures of Star being psychologically abused, with her distress being a source of entertainment for her tormentors. In one recovered video, Star was clearly desperately in need of sleep, as she was filmed sitting in a flimsy chair before falling asleep and toppling off, hitting her head on the floor. This was filmed by both Smith and Brockhill, who were laughing throughout. Brockhill then added music to her footage and added a caption which read, quote, "I've laughed so hard," before sending it to friends of hers. Later that day, another video was filmed of Star having a plate of food placed in front of her. She was so sleepy that she fell forward with her head in the bowl. Rather than helping her daughter, Smith simply laughed. Several videos and photographs were also found, with Star being forced to stand in the corner. These were often taken by Smith, who would then send them to Brockhill. This was part of their sadistic pleasure in tormenting Star, and documenting the abuse. For example, Starr was forced to stand in the corner after the following conversation between the pair. Smith said, quote, "Starr keeps crying. I don't know why. It's proper crying. She's proper crying." Brockhill tells her to put Starr in the corner, and when told she's already there, she says good. The photo is then sent to Brockhill, with Starr standing in the corner.